Hello again. In week 6, we will be looking at some evidence-based practice for reading. So go through the introduction and learning outcomes, and you've got some assigned readings. Some additional resources provided. Again, the What Works Clearinghouse has some evidence-based practice summaries, so make sure you're looking at the evidence base or using the video I created on finding articles and using evidence-based articles. You have a tutoring check-in, and your forum is on receptive language. So receptive language is what we take in based on what we hear. And then unit plan check 2 is sections 6 and 7. Your course walkthrough video does have a full account of what is expected for all sections of the unit plan. So you can go back to that one if you would like. And I'm going to just look at parts 6 and 7. So make sure that you're using feedback from your unit check 1. If you had anything that maybe didn't match or essential question issues, especially that I noted, please make sure that you go back and make revisions to that because we are building on that. So for your assessment plan in part 6, you will need some pre-assessment, formative assessment, and summative assessment. It's really easiest, I think, to use a backwards design to do this. So starting with that summative assessment, we are looking at providing a menu of options. So some of those UDL concepts and providing students with choices of how they'll be assessed. So you're going to need to have at least a few choices of options there. And again, check the grading rubric for more specifics on this. So go to your essential questions, and your summative assessments should directly address those essential questions. And then working back from that, if you go into formative assessments, how am I going to break this down into individual lessons within the unit? And then each of those lessons should have some form of formative assessment that directly relates to that essential question and into your summative assessment. Making sure that you're allowing students a lot of time to exercise, practice with these, have some choice and some self-assessment in there. And then a discussion of how this is going to shape what you're teaching. So if you do a formative assessment and the majority of your kids just bomb it and don't do well, we know we need to go back and reteach and approach it in a new way. So how are you going to think about those things? And then your pre-assessment is directly going to relate back to that essential question again. So what do the students already know about this topic? Where can I start with this? And what might be some background information that I'm going to need to go back and reteach before I can start my unit? In section 7, you're looking at your vocabulary development. So the first thing is your key vocabulary. What are the essential vocabulary words? We're looking at either science or social studies, so there will be some content specific terms there. And then the other thing you want to make sure that you have is those learning words. So if you have something like interpret or infer, academic vocabulary is really important to make sure that we explicitly teach and make sure that our students are understanding that as well. And then your evidence-based vocabulary development plan. So some evidence-based vocabulary strategies to help the students acquire unit vocab. So again, with that evidence-based practice, make sure you are using a peer-reviewed source. So either a peer-reviewed journal article or a textbook that's got some vocabulary development. Make sure it is cited in text and that you provide a full APA citation with that as well.